Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Friday, May 20th, 2016. Sorry, I checked something in the middle of saying something, but yeah, we're here. At least for a bit. Hi. Let's get started. Okay, so last time we made the piece be able to move in a very pointless way, but it moved. Probably not gonna have a long stream today. Obviously, it's already 10. I was re-rendering some stuff, and I had a massive increase in performance, actually. So it turns out that CPU and GPU for my system, when I use them to do rendering in Blender, were taking about the same amount of time, and I thought, okay, maybe, you know, Devil's Canyon, GTX 670. I mean, theoretically, 670 has way more performance. It's 2 teraflops. And then, you know, a CPU these days is like hundreds of gigaflops, low hundreds of gigaflops, maybe. So I'm like, okay, there's a order of magnitude difference between the two, but I don't know, maybe it was just inefficient to go through driver or whatever. I don't know. It's about the same amount of time, so I eventually ended up changing the tile size of which is the block of the final rendered image that you send to GPU to do all at once. It was 64 by 64, and I'm thinking, you know, kind of small, but NVIDIA does 32 per warp, so I'm thinking, okay, maybe, excuse me, it was their default. I'm like, okay, it probably is good enough. You think if there'd be a big difference, if they saw you switch to CPU or GPU, they would be like, you probably want something a bit more, just change the settings by default behind the scenes. But they didn't, so I'm like, okay, 64 must be good. Switch it to 256 by 256, which is a bigger chunk, which means you have to go to and from the video card less frequently. And it rose up to about 3 times performance. I'm like, okay, this is getting in the right path, right? So it's slightly faster, actually like times faster than CPU now. So I'm like, oh, that's good. So what do? I'll add more samples to make it a longer render, but whatever. Because you look at the final render image and you're like, wow, this takes like, you know, 8 seconds a frame. Looks like, right? Let's try something else. Let's add more quality. So 3 times more performance, doubled the amount of quality required instead of having it like I originally was planning to. Still takes a while, but it's a bit better now for that. So yeah, so that was good. And as I say that, it decides to load, which is good. So we have here in the game state, it causes, and this is well, this is not multicast, but it's called from a multicast, so it will be multicasted to all clients, whatever. And this will cause the piece to move. And at the end, this animation chunk will do a callback and then set it to never. Okay, so basically what's happening is we change the render complete, the sort of animation complete time in this to whatever the animation should be after you include delays and animation times and all that sort of stuff, to what it should be, as I said. So when time keeps going for that game state and it crosses that threshold, we know that, well, it crossed that threshold, so the animation has finished. We don't know when it's finished, but we know it's finished, right? So what we do is we have a boolean that says is animating, which is right here. So when this is flipped, when this is true, because we turn it on when we start the animation, we know that if it's true, and we are finishing animation, then this is the first frame after the animation, so we can then use it as a callback. As long as we make sure to flip it to false after we use it, as we do right here. because otherwise this callback will fire every frame after the animation completes until a new animation starts. We want it to happen just once, because that's more useful to us. So we have this little flag which shuts down after it does it once, so we know it only calls once. Unless someone messes with this flag without us touching it, in which case they're gonna cause some serious performance issues for them, but if we're not the ones doing it, that's all we care about. If someone wants to manipulate their own machine to make it crash, I mean, you can always do Alt F4 and break the game that way too, right? That's their, oops, that's their prerogative. So now this is called, we need to have some way of having the game state know what's going on. So the game state can do its update locations. I probably will just end up having it be update location. The annoying part is that yeah, okay, we're gonna change it around a little bit. There's ways we can do with this, but let's do it like that, whatever. The thing is that this token, we don't have it from the piece, which is going to be the one calling it now. Hey, Rabaflavins. Welcome to stream. So we'll be calling it from the piece, and the receiving says, okay, who sent it to me? You, okay. So I'll have to do that check, which is stupid, but then I have to do another check otherwise, so whatever. So here we'll do I think I have game state there, right? Yeah, game state's accessible. Thank you, IntelliSense, for covering up what I want to see update locations. F move token move equals F move token move dot start equals location move dot destination equals destination. Again, this will probably be a bit of a shorter stream, but you know how it is. So the game state will update the move, update the locations in the move. So actually, I don't want to have this happen. I want this to happen somewhere else. Excuse me. 1 second. Okie dokie. You know what? I will have it here. So AP's instigator. So I'm gonna have, so what I was trying to deal with is figuring out who's gonna delete it and destroy the reference to it. That can be done in multiple places. I can do it from within the piece as it's doing its animation to be destroyed. Like not be destroyed, the actor, like, but literally be destroyed, like it popped up in the air and pulling the fireworks, right? All I can do though is for the animation, instead of having that deal with killing the piece, like despawning it, all I need is for that to happen before the next turn. So I need to have it done somewhere. I'm going to do an update locations because that's where I'm handling all the actual game state. So might as well just have that be the time it happens. If I want the piece to be destroyed early, because I'll just de-render it. I won't actually destroy the actor. The object will still be there until the update locations is called. So. This also means that the target needs to be invisible before the instigating piece's animation's done. But that's okay, because if the instigator is there before the target is destroyed, then unless the animations have that pop off somewhere, they will overlap and intersect it, which is what I don't want, so yeah. And then instigator location equals move dot destination. We don't care about the target because it's going to be destroyed anyway. It'd be theoretically possible for us to, at some point after this, scan through the world, find the actor, and have two associated with that location. But we just need to make sure that every time we call, and we look for that piece, we only look through it through our list, which is maintained by us. Because we can't really control when Unreal Engine actually destroys things. It may say, wow, this frame's pretty heavy, I'm going to not do anything for a bit. And we have no choice, we just have to let it do it. I mean, we can do an actual C++ delete on it, but that might cause some issues. I think Unreal Engine's good enough to not crash if it sees a destroyed object, but you know. Hi, welcome to the chat. So, I think this might be it. think this is it. Excuse me. No, let's have one more here. So I'm trying to think of who would do the call. It has to be the player controller, because that's how it's set up in Unreal Engine. But who would get the player controller to tell it to, say, the client over on this side has been up to date, keep going. Guess that will be this one. Okay, so game state. A base player controller. PC equals actually comment that out for a second. Player controller. Okay, well, oops, no, don't want to touch that. I guess this is going to be my chunk here. So game state, pragma region, useful getters, a base player controller, get base or get player controller. Hey, BO12, sorry, BO 2015. I don't know where I got 12 from there. Thanks. Said nice hair. Welcome to the chat. So we're gonna grab all of this. So we're just gonna actually, should actually have a bit like this. T array, a base player controller, output dot add player controller, return output. Complaining about? Okay. Like, what are you complaining about, buddy? Nothing, apparently. Check this out. Damn! Now here. Sold Doom 64 for for $40 today. Nice. That's quite a bit of change for this is 4 games. Might do it. If you're gonna do a multi-line comment, do a multi-line comment. T array, a base player controller, controllers equals get player controller. Let's do controllers. And then down here, we'll do there's no for each in C++, is there? Check this out. Oh, thanks. Oh, I haven't showed that yet. 1 second. Okay. I'll show you in just a second. I guess there's no way I can do it besides, well, I mean, I can do it like this, but whatever. For int 32 I equals 0, I less than controllers dot num, I plus plus controllers I update in range tiles. I'm not sure if this will build or not because I might have accidentally not finished writing something somewhere else in this file. Yeah, I definitely forgot something. The hell was that? Oh, I didn't do a for declare. I'll show you in just a second. Okay. There we are. That should be good. So it's a game in Unreal Engine 4. It's called Check It. It's based off of a game jam thing I was working on in 2014, which was longer than the game jam. And I'll show that to you in a second, but for now... actually, you know what? I'll show you the original one first. So, what I'm going to show you looks a lot like chess, but looks can deceive. So this is a chessboard, as you can probably guess. What's my history with programming? Yikes. Long, complicated history. I have a degree in physics, but that wasn't exactly what it made me start programming. Anyway, I'll explain that in a second. So, this is a chessboard. And, you know, notice that the pawn can only move out one. That's okay. Now it can move in any direction. Still move it left. There's a reason why I do that, because not every thing's gonna look like this, but you know, the pawn can eat in this direction, or the queen can eat it, or it can eat that. So let's have the pawn eat it, and then so forth. But the reason why pawns can move laterally is because in certain levels, it's not gonna be a chessboard. Matter of fact, most levels it's not going to be a chessboard. Some is going to be much larger than that. This is a 64 by 64 grid. Degree in physics. No, degree in physics. This is a much larger level. This is 64 by 64 grid, and when you open, you have a choice. You can either go directly with your king and queen up through here to get a good spot in town. This will be a town eventually, or would have been a town eventually if I didn't kind of redo it. Or you can take a few turns to move the king over to the left to grab some knights. One or two. Although if you probably took the effort to go to knights, you probably want to spend the extra moves to get them both, but maybe not. As you move the king over, you notice the control range is expanding and retracting. So here I can select a knight here. I can't select this knight though. I can select this one, but not this one, because it's non-range until I move the king here. I can move the knight over. So this is a game jam thing. The idea is basically chess with predefined levels. So it was broken. Like the AI was, first off, the movement code. There was 3 different movement codes, and they all validated differently. So there are some times where that would cause bugs, including the AI being like, I know I'm going to do this turn. I'm going to despawn one of my pieces, usually the queen, and it's like, that is not allowed. I never programmed you to do that, but it did, right? So whatever. So anyway, we did a relaunch. The idea is that I want to have the game from start to finish on YouTube. So I had to do the restart at some point. I was planning on making a demo with the original version and transferring over, but I was able to license this music. Yay! So I could have it on YouTube whenever I wanted to. So I did the relaunch early. Whatever. So now we're on a relaunch. And we now have a menu where we can select the... it's going to look different. I'm not going to have Epic's front yard be the background. It's probably going to be a cartoony thing. But anyway. But instead of having 1 versus AI, you can have however many you want. This is a hypothetical level with 10 spawns. It maps to a level that only has 2, but that's... Eventually the menu will, based on whatever map you select, and maybe mode you select too, will adjust the spawns accordingly. But you can have it be disabled, or put an AI there, or any connected player, and then assign it to whatever team you want. And I'm trying to make it as general as possible. Like, I even want to have it possible where, let's say you have 3 players, but only 2 teams. You want to have player 1 and player 2 have the majority of team 1 or team 2's spawns, except maybe 1. And then player 3 will have Team 1's last spawn and Team 2's last spawn. So you have 2 players playing against each other with one of their friends, not competitively, of course, one of their friends on both teams, you know, screwing them both, right? That could be one possible way of doing it. Could be free-for-all, 2v2, 5v5, I don't know. I don't really care. It's up to people to know how they want to have fun. If they want to make a very uncompetitive, kind of stupid game mode, well, game structure for the map, go ahead, right? I don't want to stop them from doing that. So I want to have it as open as possible. So we have this here, and let's say we launch a game. Then we're now in game. This is what it looks like now. Instead of having it be things you click on, it's now based on a tile. This map's a lot better to gamepad, maybe even touch 2, I'm not sure. But then when we select, we then have the option for the possible moves from that piece. And then when we do our move, it will make the move happen. Or we can, you know, deselect and look around the map. And in this case, there's a piece here. We can't select it because it's out of range. And there's the AI. If the AI wanted to, we could just kill this, but the AI is now programmed to give up its turn because I haven't made an actual AI yet. Yeah. So what we were working on yesterday is we have the ability to make the move happen, but nothing after that, right? We haven't finished it yet, so okay. But yeah, that's the answer to the question of what are we making. What's my history of programming? So, oh, the person left so far, but in case they, you know, come back. It's complicated. So I started doing a bunch of mods and stuff like that. A couple of, you know, personal projects here and there. I took some programming classes in college, but again, it wasn't my degree focus. My degree focus was physics and education, for one degree or the other. And I kind of went from there. Yeah. So I guess that's about it. Equals T-Ray controller PC equals get player controllers. Excuse me. We'll do controllers, I guess. So, I think I did this already. Where did I do that? I know what happens when we right click, everything goes away, but so again, the AI gets its turn, so its first turn does nothing. So this shouldn't happen, but it does. Also, why is this doing preview lighting? shouldn't be... 1 second here. I should have known this earlier, but... Why do you want to preview? Guess it's Peace Pawn. So why are you preview lighting? So cast Shadow, but... Oh, Stack Shadow. Is this for all of them? Why are they casting Static Shadows? Okay, so I'm gonna close down the editor because I do not want to save this. It's movable, why would it try to cast Static Shadows? Smash. False. It should never cast a Static Shadow because it's a movable object, so why is it trying to do that? Ah, whatever. Anyway. Controller 0. Server method. Okay. So now we need to make a bass player controller. U function server reliable with validation because it needs validation because that's what Epic provides. Server move complete. I get past an argument, but it's a turn-based game. It won't need to. It's like, this is a turn I'm on. Well, it's the only turn we should all be on, so if it's different, there's a f***ing problem, right? Yeah. Why isn't updating tile range tiles is below that? Okay. Server move complete. I'll do complete move. And then let's go right here. You may wonder why I do it instead of just doing a right-click thing, but, you know. It's going to do it incorrectly anyway, so might as well just have it copy and paste from something. Because the U function macro was going to expand to include, to not have this be something we have to write, that will be... Everything okay, Mirror PPC? Having connection issues? Anyway, yep, oh, sorry. Looks like my bandwidth right now is coming up steady 2.6, 2.7 megabits. And no drop frames, so it's probably not on my end. I used to be broadcasting like 3.5 because I want to have, you know, great quality going through Twitch. Apparently Twitch doesn't downgrade quality for lower performance viewers, internets, unless you're a high quality, unless you're a very popular streamer, so. I was like, okay, let's just record on one quality and drop the stream quality for everyone else. Sorry, right? Okay, so none of this matters. Because nothing really matters. Okay. Ah, cool. Thanks. No, thanks for, yeah, no, please continue to chat, alright? So, yeah, don't, yeah. May toss emojis here, that's perfectly fine, right? I want people to have fun on the stream, right? Have fun in, you know, legal and PG-13 at the most ways, but yeah. Actually, one thing is that I can't actually see emojis because I'm using hex chat to connect through Twitch, so I can see like Unicode and stuff like that. That's fine. Most of them, some of them didn't show up right, but when people say, like, you know, Twitch emojis or whatever, I can't see them. I just see the text that they represent. Hi, welcome to the chat. Okay, so now we need the server to list the number of people who are finished, and when this is finished, have that be that. Always using a code, yeah. Now the problem is, how do I know how many people are being multicasted? Crap. So the problem is that, well, not these, but broadcast move. Actually, this won't work either. This won't work either because game state is not a client-owned object. So one of the things that I kind of learned as I was going through this is that you need to have all the... and it was something I was thinking about at first. How do you know which client you're going to? And the thing is, you need to have the client accessible object be the one that's calling it. So for server commands, you need to call them from the player controller to the so you call from the player controller will send a message to or some other object that is owned by that player controller, but whatever. We're assuming only player controller, we're not going to add any more to that. And from there we go to the game state or whatever needs to actually do the movement. And then the movement will need to go back to that player controller and do a client move back down. So this is gonna be fun, right? So instead of doing a multicast, what I probably should do is on the server explicitly loop through all player controllers. Try to cast them to Blaze player controller so we don't mess with spectators. I don't care if spectators are out of sync. Actually no, spectators would be base player controller as well, so it would include spectators. And they'd be, oh, of course I want them to be in sync. What am I doing? Yeah, so spectators too. So we loop through all player controllers, tell them the broadcast to move, and then have another method that if a move is denied, get the current player and send it to them. So for this, what we need is well, either that, or we can do it this method and just have no verification. So we can just send the moves out there, and because it's fine to accept right now, it'll physically work as you saw in the thing we were working on. That transaction will physically work, but we don't have the way to handshake back from the client to the server and from the server back to the client if something goes wrong or if something goes right. We can just assume things go right and keep moving on through the future. But we probably want to have some verification to keep everyone in lockstep. Which means that some of these need to be not like the end turn and skip player and all that sort of stuff. Those can be multicast. Because those are guaranteed to be, because they're reliable, they are guaranteed to be occurring in order. Or we can do the broadcast move as multicast, just not check, and just assume that after 2 seconds or whatever, the move occurred. And the only thing that would happen is if the client's behind, the server would be like, new turn, everyone, and the client would be like, okay, now I'm here, right? Because that would be the lag that we experience. The biggest problem is that I don't really have a way of denying a move. So if the client sends a impossible one, the client will just hang forever, unless it itself learns the timeout and be like, the server hasn't said to broadcast a move yet. It's been 45 seconds. Maybe we screwed up. Maybe let's unlock the player or whatever. But it would be nice to have the server say, nobody, don't do something else. Or on deny move, actually be a little cheeky and like have instead of the parameter be the denied move, have the parameter be a big structure that has all of the state of the server right now. So if the client if the client input a move that's impossible, the server would just be like, this is the state we're on right now. You did something that's not possible. Here's what we should see, and have the client then update itself based off of that. That could be, I mean, it'll take a lot of bandwidth if you have a lot of pieces or whatever, but, well, actually not a lot of bandwidth. Let's say, so if we have, let's say worst case scenario, let's have 496 tiles, this is 4x4 grid. How many bits would we have for that? So each number, each integer, 32, whatever, would be 4 bytes. So for, let's say we need 10. Let's say we need 10 of those to synchronize all the tiles. So that's 163 kilobytes, and that's the worst part. And then the pieces would need less than that, and it'd only be like 20 pieces. So if in the event of a bad move, we would be synchronizing back about 200 kilobytes of data to make sure the client gets back into sync. I could see that as a DDoS method if somehow someone would figure out to make the server call that multiple times. So we'd have to have some way of validating that. Because the thing is, you don't want to have, in general, you don't want to have a networking situation where small mic noise. Do I have mic noise? Thunk thunk. Or if it's knocking on the desk. You don't really want to have a situation where you have a small amount of input yields a big output, because then you can DDoS that machine with that ratio of bandwidth. So, unless you have some limiter of some sort. And you don't really want to make a game where people can be DDoSed, right? Full servers. We'll keep doing it like this for now, where there's no validation. but it's gonna end up being like we're gonna have to replace some of this stuff. Oh well. Base player controller, circuit quick move. Okay. So then the game state, A base game state, game state equals let's get game state is on this one, right? Oh no, game state. Get game state I put on here. And then piece, get game state. Oh, maybe the tung 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 you're hearing wasn't my wasn't hitting the desk. It might have been the music. I don't know. I don't know what you're hearing. So. Get game state. If game states, so we don't crash. If game states, multicast end turn. Okay, so let's try building. If this is the case, this should now allow multiple moves. Unless I screwed up somewhere. Oh. What's even worse? Class. And this is almost 11, so this would probably be where we end if it works. If it doesn't work, then we have some problems. That was my finger, of course. Interesting, interesting. So something happened. What's the game instance? Whoops. So how does the game mode do it? Oh, I gotta do game mode end turn. Let's play controller. Yeah, I don't want game state. I want get game mode. A base game mode. Get game mode. Then I want here. A base chess game mode. Sorry. And in here, so plus a base chess game mode. How do we get game mode again? Do gameplay status, get game mode. Okay, so very similar to this then. Base chess game mode. Get game mode. And game mode, what is that called? Just end turn, okay. Isn't there a request end turn? I thought there was a request end turn I could do. Okay, to do validate whether this is the current player. It's 11, so I'm not going to do that tonight. But we'll do this though. Oh, I need to actually shut down Unreal Engine. Okay, base game mode, base chess game mode. I have the is current player command, but yeah, thanks, Riboflavins. Again, I don't know why I did chess game mode. Don't worry, you had a oops, yeah, like that, sure. You had a bit of a lag. A head start. So then oh, So it's good, it just doesn't update the interface. Okay. A base game state. Oh no. So it's player controller does the update in range tiles. View function. Actually, that's not right. I had a multi-class start to turn. I believe I have it hooked up. Yeah, okay, I got that. Oops, not here. Here. A base chess game mode. Or base game state. Game state equals get game state. Actually, pointer, and this I'll have it be above this because I might need it to validate here. If game state multicast broadcast start new turn. Okay, so now let's do a hot reload, which hopefully will work and not just crash. As visible underneath my camera. And it works, okay. So the problem is just I'm not adjusting the so we're making it worse. Okay. Thanks for watching.